2018 has seen so many tremendous new releases for the C64, from first-time developers to experienced veterans, and so the staff and contributors of Reset64 have cast their ballots, and now it's time to find out Reset64's Game of the Year for 2018. And starting with the 5th place game, or should I say games, with the place shared by Megastyle's Exploding Fish, Ponds, Hibernated 1, This Place is Deaf, and the Arcane Productions developed, RGCD and Cytronic published Aviator Arcade 2, each scoring 6 points from the judges. For Exploding Fish, the judges had this to say: "The surprise hit of 2018 for me, Chris Stanley's Exploding Fish may seem like a slow-paced collect 'em up at first, but it's not long before you're totally engrossed. A game that joyously reminds me of those quality early 80s releases for the C64. When it comes to Hibernated, the comments included, "Releasing a text-only adventure is a brave thing to do in 2018, and there have been a few less than stellar releases in the past. But Stefan didn't let anyone down with his accessible, clever, and witty writing and compelling story. The difficulty was spot on, with the puzzles requiring logical thinking rather than luck." And for Aviator Arcade 2, in its post-commercial life, we've rarely seen shmups push the bounds of what the C64 can do. Until Aviator Arcade 2, that is. The team at Arcane Productions have pushed the bounds of what is capable in 2018, with engaging action, a wide variety of power-ups, and lots of blasting joy. Aviator Arcade 2 really shows the C64 can more than hold its own against its 8-bit rivals in the realms of shmup action. Moving up the ranks, we switch over to 4th place with Dr. Wuro Industries' Shadow Switcher, the charming, puzzling switch 'em up, receiving 7 points from the judges. And from the pile of submissions, as soon as I saw the early 80s inspired graphics for this game, I knew that I would like it. And I did! It's one of those games that takes me back to simpler times, but the mechanics feel very modern and keep me coming back to it. It's perfect for short blasts or extended sessions. And it has a level editor. Moving up to 3rd place, and we've got one of the big hitters, with the Protovision published Space Moguls having scored 8 points. And from the pens of the judges, reaching back into the past has been a theme this year, and the classic strategy game Mule received an amazing tribute in the form of this new game. Presentation is outstanding, the computer AI makes a strong opponent, and the multiple planets adds to the depth. The box edition from Protovision is very nicely put together too. As we move on to the 2nd place game, we're a long way from home for this one, with Hunter's Mood Remastered taking the nod here and getting 9 points from the judges. Speaking of the judges' submissions, like a hobbit, it's tricksy and devious and will keep hold of the precious, each system introducing new features and terrible surprises lurking within that must be solved if you're going to make it home. A much longer journey now, as over 50 levels have been added to the proceedings, some of which will test your skills and patience to the maximum. Add to this the level designer, built-in trainer, foreign languages, improved off-duty mode, new music, massive intro sequence. There is an awful lot more for your money. In conclusion, if you didn't take to the original, then you may be persuaded to try again. But if you loved it like me, then this is everything you could wish for and more. Now finally, the one you've all been waiting for. The game voted as the Reset64 staffers' Game of the Year for 2018. And it's Rocky Memphis, The Legend of Atlantis, receiving 10 points from the votes. Now for the final word from the judges. The Legend of Atlantis does what Joe Gunn did back 11 years ago, but with everything brought up to a completely new level. The graphics, sounds, and gameplay are everything, and more. What everyone expected of an Indiana Jones game on a C64 back in 1989, which we never got back then. And there we have it, the Reset64 Game of the Year for 2018. I don't know about you, but personally, I really didn't get a chance to spend enough time with some of these games, especially Space Moguls coming out so late in the year, and I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to do that soon. As for 2019, I'm sure it's going to be just as great a year for the C64 as last year was. And of course, if you want to read the full write-up of the rewards, check the description, everything will be in detailed there. And with that, thank you all very much for watching, and here is to 2019.